Welcome back, everybody, to a short and true Cobra Kai Season 2 watch party. I wanted to stop in and talk about a rumor I've seen floating around about John Kreese. The rumor is strongly rooted in Karate Kid 3 and goes that, like in the movie, John Kreese and Terry Silver hatched an elaborate scheme to regain control of the Cobra Kai Dojo. And thusly, the poor man down on his luck who is looking for another shot routine is a very massive lie. Their intention is to peel away Johnny's judgment and gain his trust. As you recall, in Karate Kid 3, Kreese and Silver faked Kreese's death and then launched a massive plan to get revenge on LaRusso. So honestly, it all kind of makes sense. If these guys would do it all at once, wouldn't they do it again? The plan essentially would have been for Kreese to come back and gain Johnny's trust. Then, with Terry Silver's financial backing, make secret deals with the landlord, and when the time is right, swoop in and take it all. It's an idea and plot worthy of Karate Kid 3, but it's not very good, also like the plot of Karate Kid 3. There's a simple way to disprove all this, but first we need to think back to some great American theater. You remember Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman? Of course you do. Willy Loman getting up there in years, having never quite achieved the level of success he thought he should. But the key point here is the title. The play is called Death of a Salesman? Death, as in dying, death? The play ends at Willy Loman's funeral because he died. Now why is this relevant? Well, in Season 2, Episode 4, we get the elaborate backstory of Kreese. Johnny follows him all the way to the shelter, or whatever this is. Then Kreese tells the story.
But I felt like it was a handout.
So according to the theory, this is what everyone thinks is a big conspiracy between Kreese and Silver to trick Johnny. As it turns out, this is all true. The explanation is pretty simple. The title of this episode is The Moment of Truth. That is truth as in true? What he is saying is true? That title isn't referring to anything else. Kreese was lying about his military record and everything from the past 30 years. The truth is what he tells Johnny in this scene. Look, there's nothing wrong with some misdirection to keep the audience guessing and surprised, but you can't cheat an episode title like that. The show, via the title, is telling us this is true and everything before it was the lie. Now, if it were called The Moment a Long-Planned Sinister Plot Springs into Action, well, that would be something different. But it's not. It's the moment of truth. What you see is what you get. I think one of the reasons so many people assumed this was all a scheme to retake Cobra Kai is because this is one of the only real storytelling misfires here. Kreese spending 30 years working odd jobs only to end up destitute doesn't feel right. It comes off as a little out of character. As Johnny points out, he's the guy who taught defeat does not exist. So that's not to say he couldn't get wiped out like what happened, but someone who is a ruthless winner picks himself up and rebuilds. Even if he isn't as successful as before, he can get on his feet. I personally have known a few people who've had multi-million-dollar businesses that got wiped out like Kreese. Now, in their case, it was due to theft, and one was family drama. But the point is, each of them picked themselves up and were successful again. It's hard to see how, after decades, Kreese was unable to do the same. Story-wise, I think the idea is to show the importance of Cobra Kai. It gives purpose to the students and both senseis. Kreese needs Cobra Kai the same way Johnny does. In fact, you could say Cobra Kai actually holds a piece of Kreese's soul. It's his phylactery, his horcrux, his demon familiar. As he gets closer to it, he slowly regains his whole self. You can see the transformation of Kreese as he reconnects with Cobra Kai. From raggedy to a little more confidence, to dealing with the truth, to where he acts like he owns the place, which, by the end, in his mind at least, he does. The conflict arises in that the purpose differs.
But he no longer represents what this dojo stands for.
But I'm afraid he's a little mixed up.
And that applies to the end as well. I know a lot of people think Kreese got financial backing from Terry Silver here, but I don't think he needed it. Again, what you see is what you get. The key is this line.
Turns out he doesn't like you much.
Look, Johnny was running a successful business and paying his rent. It's not like Armin Zakarian had a financial reason to kick Johnny out. It was all personal. And Kreese is a very charismatic guy who knows how to leverage his charm to manipulate people into doing what he wants. You know darn well Kreese is able to tug and push Zakarian the same way Daniel did in Season 1, to butter him up as it were. You can imagine the same way Daniel offered him lobster, Kreese offered a fresh Cuban cigar. Plus, consider that if Kreese turned down offers of help for decades because it felt like charity handouts, would he now suddenly accept those handouts to buy back a piece of his soul? I don't think so. Kreese getting Cobra Kai back on his damn own is as important to him as anything. This is why at the end, Kreese is finally whole again. So for Season 3, don't expect any grand reveals that Terry Silver was plotting with Kreese all along. I don't see the show going in that direction. It would be convoluted and we have a hell of a lot to do as it is. Now we may get Terry Silver in some capacity, but not in the way everyone is thinking. Not like this. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and we'll get to that eventually. So while we're at it, we might as well throw in Mike Barnes here. A lot of people are obsessed with this guy coming back. Some are even claiming it's confirmed he will. Funny enough, back before Season 2, a bunch of people claimed on my videos he was confirmed to return for that too. I don't think this guy will be in Season 3. Now, I don't have any direct evidence for that, but I do have a dash of common sense. This show is supposed to go 6, maybe 7 seasons. If we have Silver, Barnes, and everyone else back now, then what the heck do you have to look forward to in Seasons 5 and 6? The show seems to be unwinding at a slow, measured pace. That's preferable to smash cramming as many returns and callbacks as humanly possible into the early seasons. So at this point, I don't think Mike Barnes will be in Season 3, and I don't care how many people tell me it's confirmed. Basically, the only thing I would believe right now is a picture of Sean Kanan on set with the other actors. But that's not going to happen. I guess there's been a lockdown on behind-the-scenes goodies because apparently someone has been snooping around, manipulating the other photos, and pulling out info we're not supposed to have. I can't say I don't follow this stuff, but if I ever find out who did it, I'll let you know. So if you have any thoughts on this, please leave a comment below. I happen to think some of the best Cobra Kai discussion on the internet is actually going on in the comments of my videos. I really love all of it. So go ahead and say what you think, respond to other people, get your voice out there. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel for more great videos. Up next, we have a video on Sam as a girlfriend, tracking her relationships with Miguel and Robbie. You don't want to miss it. Check out the other videos on my channel. You'll find something on almost every topic. I hope you all have a good day. I'll see you again very soon.
I founded Cobra Kai. It belongs to me. It always has. And it always will.